Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Aries May 2022 reading and predictions. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James. For those of you who are stopping by for the first time, and the subscribers, well, you always know how great it is always to see you. You have my affection always, and I send good energy to you as well. You probably feel it from time to time. Now, I never use oracle cards, as you know, but this month, because I'm using a medieval deck, and I'm going to team it with one card from an ancient Aboriginal artwork. The Aboriginal people of Australia, that is. They have inhabited the continent virtually as an island for 40,000 years, so they are the most discreet racial population that we can find on the planet today. So we're going to draw one of them. Now, the reason why I also am using them is because they are actually grown up. They're not like the tabloid sort of, wishy-washy sayings that you get in most oracle decks. My humble opinion. Each to their own, I suppose. So let's pull one for you first, and it is this. Whatever that may be. Intuition. Well, we shall see what that has to say in a moment. Now, I'm going to also draw 5 cards from this medieval deck. The medieval artwork on this is going to inspire and excite you. I'm very excited to be doing this reading for you. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what there is in store for you now. Let's see the first card, and it is the Devil. What a fantastic devil card it looks like as well, I may say. What's this one here? That is the Hanged Man. That's interesting. You have 2 major arcana out of the deck first up. Let us see if it's going to continue that way or whether you're going to have something else. I hope you're doing well. It's great to see you. Let's have a look. The 6 of Cups. Great card. Now, normally I wear a suit and tie, don't I? But I just felt like something a bit different today because I'm going out on a date. So I thought I would put on something a bit different. Now, let's see what's going on here. I think women like denim, don't they? We'll soon find out. And the 4 of Swords. And what we have here, the 3 of Cups. Great. So why don't you come down, have a look at the imagery on these fantastic, beautifully painted cards together while I do the reading for you. Right, let's have a look first to see what this intuition card might mean. Let's have a closer look at it, shall we? See what we might say about it. Well, do you know, intuition is a state of awareness that can only come by knowingly and trustingly believe in yourself. You need to first notice, then trust the feelings, the sounds, the symbols, and the messages that come to you. They are not coincidences, you know. Your intuition will provide you with guidance at any time, in any situation. Just take the time to find that inner peace of reflection, and the rest will come with ease. Now, there have been signs in your past, I think, that you have chosen to ignore, but here today, you are faced with a challenge to make a decision. You instinctively know what the best plan is, but this is a difficult decision for you to make. You have maybe forgotten to trust your instincts and intuition, but in making this decision, the universe will support you. You are the universe. You are a part of it. You're not walking outside and looking at it. You are the universe. The universe is alive. You are proof of it. Now, you will find peace at last by simply making this decision, and as a result, you will find a renewed trust in your intuitive abilities. Your intuitive senses have long been ignored, I think, but now it is time to reclaim and trust your intuition. You'll feel as though you are welcoming a new friend home. A sense of inner peace and reclaimed trust in yourself will find its way back into your life. Well, let's now look at the tarot, shall we? Now, I am drawn to this hanged man that's here. Let's have a look at him. A lot of interesting symbology around here, and we probably don't have the time to go into it all, but let's just have a quick look at it. The young man hanging upside down has put up with his life's circumstances and accepted them as they are. He is ready for restrictions and prohibitions. Now, I think, on one view, this energy here might also signify the need for radical changes. Now, astrologically, I have a lot of Neptune around here, very often considered for some reason, although it's gaseous, to be the watery planet, probably because of its colour. And there's very much an association with Venus here as well, I see. There is the end of a situation or a relationship which is stuck. Letting go is what you'll be doing, giving something up, or perhaps even surrendering to something, learning to see in a new way the necessity of breaking through old behavior patterns. You could be experiencing a metamorphosis, just in the same way that a caterpillar changes into a butterfly. The point has come, I think, at which you can no longer avoid seeing naked realities. There is nothing left but to face up to them and let go. There is a form of capitulation, I suppose, the giving up of willfulness and frozen ideologies, and that's going to lead to far-reaching transformation for you, breaking through rigid behavior patterns, clearing away old rubbish, full of surrender to your higher self, freedom from narrow-mindedness and dogma. Now, this signifies you, I think, as being someone who might bow willingly to the cosmic order of the universe, and you'll be able to become one with the flow of the Tao. Not my will, but thy will be done, for thy will is also mine. The great reward for the deep surrender to the whole is a 180-degree turn, and the world will be seen from a new perspective. I think it's possible for you to recognize where you are stuck and in which areas of your life there is congealment rather than the flowing ease of energy. There is nothing to do. The mere act of perceiving, of recognizing your reality clearly makes this transformation possible. And what areas of your life are you stuck? Are you ready to recognize and let go of your petrified, your rock-like thought and behavior patterns? Say this to yourself at this time. I value breaking ineffective old patterns. I trust and have deep faith in the essence of who I am. And that was, I suppose, really what this intuitive card was telling you as well. And I surrender to the higher path and God's will. I let go and realize, follow and accept the will of the divine in my life, which reveals itself to me step by wondrous step. Now, who else is up there on that horizontal row? It is the Devil. Well, hello, Devil. Major Arcana. Interesting. Let's have a closer look, shall we? There we go. Now, the Devil, with his mouth open, is about to swallow Adam and Eve from the old Genesis story in the Hebrew Bible, the first book of the Old Testament in the Christian tradition. Now, they succumbed to the temptation and tasted the forbidden fruit, which was to eat from the tree of good and bad. And that then led them to move on. Now, the story is often presented as them embarking then on the path of sin. I don't agree with that myself, and I'll mention why in a moment. The mouth is open, and they can still be saved, but they are driven by passions and emotions that prevent them from realizing the true consequences of their actions. There is another thought with respect to that Garden of Eden story that I would ask you to consider, and it is in this sense, that understand that you are alive. What is alive cannot die. Even if your body dies, you don't. But rather, you descended as a spirit into matter. You moved away, if you like, from the Garden of Eden, where knowledge and evil was all rolled up into one. There was no particular differentiation of it. The angels and spiritual beings weren't perturbed by things. But now, you descend into the world of matter, into space and time, and do differentiate between those things which are good and those things which are bad. And you come down into this realm to fix up those things which do go wrong, to fix up the bad and lift the earthly plane back up to that of the divine. Just a thought that you might be interested in. Now, the devil. Well, the devil is very much the lord of the gates of matter. It is Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, with Mars exalted. But here Mars, which is often a destructive planet, it is shown here for me in its best form, that of the fiery material energy of creation. That is to say, there is a great procreative energy around you now, a new vitality, and that comes from this card, I think. Humor. Definitely sensuality. There's a high degree of sexuality around this card. So there may be you are embarking on sexual activity, or this may just be in a fantasy world, which of course is okay as well. But creative energy, individuality, you might just be taken over by blind impulse at times. And you will be irresistible to other people at this time. Now, there's a thought that comes to me looking at this image here, and it is that, think not to hide from me, O beloved one, in thy grotesqueries. I see thee behind thy mask. It is thy lovely body which I love behind these motley veils, this midnight comedy, for there is none other than thee to my eyes, my taste and my touch. Now there is, as I say, a degree of humor coming through here. All people who see the essence of the world can be recognized by their marked sense of humor. Only ignorant people are deadly serious and are fully identified with their thoughts and actions. This imprisonment in the animal material is the essence of our common conception of the devil. But the devil here, in his wisdom, sees that, in fact, every desire, every imprisonment, all possessiveness leads only to frustration and suffering. Human beings will only arrive at this insight through repeated, direct experience. There's no other way, sadly. The more you learn to see or become aware, the more you can truly enjoy when you are freed from all moralistic limitations. You will surrender with utter sensuality to the enjoyment of the earth, discovering the ecstasy in every manifestation, tasting the divine in everything. You will enjoy and continue on without clinging. Now also it is the case that there may be some people who do demonize you, and you would be aware of those people. They make you out to be the devil itself incarnate, don't they? Well, meet them with humour and lightness and accept what life gives you. Keep your feet on the ground. And also, do you have some wish or desire that you don't admit to? Say this to yourself. I am a vital, joyful, and grounded person. I enjoy my sexuality. Whether my problems are real or imagined, I can handle them realistically and with good humour, because I am the captain of my life. Now, where shall we go to? Let's have a look at this Four of Swords and deal with it quickly, shall we? The Four of Swords. Yeah, I love this medieval artwork, don't you? Sort of great things here. Well, after the battle, the knight kneels in prayer. Alone, he will rest and regain his strength. Now, there is a sense to me here that there is a peace and a detachment coming to you here, which is going to eliminate all the fuss around you. It may also, I think, signal that you need to relax, to regain strength, to take care of yourself. And ideally, if you can, go on a vacation. This is Jupiter ruling the third decan of Libra, that 14th of October to the 22nd of October. This is the Lord of rest from strife. Libra, well, Libra tries to find balance in your life. And the need for balance can induce unrest. And Libra can also, I have to say, sometimes induce indecisiveness. So be aware of that. But Jupiter in Libra, Jupiter gives a period of rest. Jupiter is the great benefic of the solar system, of the zodiac. It gives you a period of rest from a difficult situation, as well as opening your higher mind's flexibility, which is needed, I think, at this time to resolve conflicts in your life. Jupiter also allows you to move on from things, so you'll be calm, centered. There's a clarity coming here. Recuperating, integration, there's an expansion, a spiritual cleansing, if you like. Now, certainly there is the need to take time out from a stressful situation. And as I say, if you can take a vacation, great. But conflicts don't necessarily go away. They do have to be dealt with. But time out from them just at the moment is needed. And make the most of what might be a mental health break for you. But don't put off what needs to be dealt with, as unavoidable things can grow to become bigger and more challenging. The point is that you have enough inner clarity to successfully carry out your plans. Now, be sure at all times that you feel good about what is happening, what supports and what hinders your clarity. Check your surroundings and rearrange them to support calm and centeredness. And have this thought in mind at this period. I am at peace with myself. Now, I think we should have a look after that with this, because peace will lead you to, I think, to celebration of some form or another. Then we'll get to this fantastic Six of Cups here. But let's have a look at this, shall we? This is 3. Now, the 3 of Water. Great number 3. It's about increase and expansion. Look, I think the 3 of Cups here is a celebratory energy. It points towards an occasion for joy and bonding, as is displayed on the card's illustration that features a group of young people who enjoy each other's company in the shade of a blossoming garden. Now, when this appears, it signals the sharing of joy. It is also about communication and bonding and the mutual feeling of love and rejoicing that can arise in the company of people with like minds and hearts. Now, the astrology is that of Mercury in Cancer in this position. And that decan, the 2nd of July to the 11th of July. Cancer. Well, Cancer is the most maternal of the signs. And it's well placed here in the number 3 because for me, 3 refers also to gestation, to pregnancy, to motherhood to, also in a sense to fatherhood as well, I have to say. That is the development of life. And I think that you can see in Cancer people that they communicate with feeling, conveying a sensitive, withdrawn and thoughtful, gentle, intuitive nature. Sometimes they can come across as a little bit precious, it has to be said. I won't say anything more than that. Maybe sometimes with due course, I'd say. But this is talking to me for you now of overflowing exchange of love, rare, valuable feelings and perceptions which can be communicated intimately. The love represented here is of the highest order. It is available to be shared with only a small circle of people. Now, these are maybe 3, perhaps, important people in your life with whom you can exchange these precious and exquisite feelings with great intimacy. Such relationships are a rare gift. Care for them with respect and gratitude. You have something especially valuable to share, I think. Be open for the people who can share these exquisite feelings with you. They are also a gift. You don't need to look for them. Are there any people that you have not already outwardly expressed the love that you feel for them? Give whatever you would like to now in full awareness of your boundless riches. Say this to yourself. Today, life gives me everything I need to be happy. Do you know, I'm reminded of a verse in the Old Testament or the Hebrew Bible, Psalms. I love the book of Psalms. And I'm pretty sure it's Psalm 121, verse 5, which says, "The Lord is your guardian, the Lord is your protection at your right hand." You are being protected and bathed in love at this time. Now that takes us, I think, finally... Is it finally? Yes, it is, to this central energy that's here, which is the 6 of Cups. Now, in some sense, this is an energy related to nostalgia for the past. The appearance of the 6 of Cups here in this layout can indicate sentimental memories and an immersion in or an idealization of the past. But remember, the past is gone. Live today. Live every day as if it is your last, but plan as if you will live forever. Sometimes this energy can indicate that your current state of affairs might have roots in the past, impressions of sentiments or events from your earlier years. In this case, I think it's advisable to think about the impact of these impressions upon you. Let them go. Maybe it's even about forgiving people. Now, forgiving is very difficult, but I'm reminded of another. Look, I'm not selling religion, of course, but I am reminded of. I love scriptural works from all over the world, but there was one point in the crucifixion of the Christ in the Christian tradition, whereas he's been nailed up on the cross and people are laughing at him, what have you. The Christ says, "Father." Now that meant God. Because in those days, of course, people didn't have a realization of what God was. So they had to use it in terms that people would understand. So they used Father. You could have easily have used Mother. You could easily have used it. God is indefinable. The great difficulty that we have is we project onto the divine what we want it to be. We project it as being a person. If I were a horse, I might project it to be a horse, for example. But the text said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." So give it to God to forgive these people if it's difficult for you to do it, things from the past. And then you just say, well, they have been forgiven. That burden of doing the forgiving yourself is taken from you. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. But this card is also the Lord of Pleasure. It is the Sun ruling the second decan of Scorpio here. And here, I think, because for me, with the number 6, I have a mystical association with the Sun as well. So we have a double dose of the Sun, as the Sun rules the numerology of 6, and it's also ruling the second decan of Scorpio, being the 3rd to the 12th of November, which is what I see the astrology of this card here. Now, a double Sun reveals what Scorpio wants to hide. And so I see here pleasure, indulgence, sexual pleasure, excitement, family support. This pleasure is a kind of pleasure which is completely harmonized, though. The zodiac sign governing the card here, for me being Scorpio, well, pleasure is rooted in its most convenient soil in Scorpio, isn't it? This is a preeminently fertile card, and actually it's one of the best in the pack. And I think also it may be the case that you are now beginning to experience pleasure after much hardship. And I think you've been undergoing a period of healing, haven't you? And the emphasis here definitely is on relationship, or on the desire to have a relationship that will improve both individuals, where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Now enjoy now all of which life gives you. This is the best way to express your gratitude. Are you holding on to old beliefs which prevent your enjoyment of pleasure? Enjoy your own emotional wealth and share it with someone else. And say this to yourself: I am now open to someone with whom I can share the joys of love on all levels. What a great set of cards for you. That's the way it is for you this month. Well, I think that was fantastic, that energy for you. Looks like it's going to be a really good month for you, and what a lot of interesting things going on, and what an interesting set of cards, don't you think? Tell me what you think of these medieval cards, as to whether I don't really use them very often, but I must say they do speak to me, and you might also let me know whether you enjoy the this sort of Aboriginal artwork stuff that's in here. There's all sorts of different things. Very, very interesting. Great to see you. Great to see you. Thank you for sticking by for the reading. If you do happen to like it, can you please help me by smashing the like button on the way out? That will enable more people to see the video according to the YouTube gods. But in the meantime, remember this, and remember it always, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.